Hey, man, this is something that I actually wanted to get into to kind of talk about.
Let's do it.
Where we're at based on where we came from. Ryan Poles has been here 2 years. And like we talked about, planned tank. He planned this tank last season. Flawlessly. When I say flawlessly, I mean flawlessly. Because Max Markham on Twitter, at Max Markham NFL, y'all give him a follow. Big Bears fan, big Bears guy, always drops stuff. Justin Fields, super supporter. It gets weird sometimes. But he put out a tweet of where are they now? Chicago Bears 2022 starters. Where are they now? Let me run through this list for y'all real quick.
Oh, you got the list? I was pulling up the tweet.
I got the list right here.
Let's go.
Because my God. Nick Morrow, 17 starts. He's on the Eagles practice squad. He started 17 games for the Chicago Bears. Sam Mustipher, 17 games, 16 starts. He's on the Ravens practice squad. Al-Qadiq Muhammad started 16 games. He got 9 starts. He's on the Colts practice squad. Joe Thomas, 15 games, 9 starts. He's a free agent. Now, granted, Joe Thomas a little bit older, longer in the tooth, but no. Michael Schofield, 11 games, 4 starts. He's a free agent. Robert Quinn, 7 games, 7 starts. We traded him away, got a pick back, utilized that pick. He's a free agent. DeAndre Houston Carson, 17 games, 6 starts. He's a free agent. Mike Pennell, 17 games, 2 starts. He's a free agent. Excuse me. Riley Reif, 16 games, 10 starts. He's on the Patriots' second string and on IR. Armon Watts, 17 games, 12 starts. He's on the Steelers' third string. Travis Gibson just re-signed, 17 games, 10 starts. He's on the Titans' second string. He wanted to go to a spot where he was going to get more run. He's on their second string. Angelo Blackson, 15 games, 4 starts. Jaguars' second string. Matt Adams, 10 games, 3 starts. Browns' second string. Byron Pringle, 11 games, 4. But I'm still going. 4 starts. Commanders, second string. Kendall Vildor, 11 games, 9 starts. He's on the Titans' third string. We also released Dante Pettis today.
Let him cook.
He's a free agent. Dante Pettis was 3rd on the team in receptions last year. From one year to the next, we are in a completely different universe. Now, granted, the players still have to go out there and make plays, but our starting wide receiving core this year versus last year, our starting offensive line, we got a rookie on the offensive line that I think could kill half the dudes that we let go last season. I don't even know what he looked like yet. Like, when you realistically think about where the Bears are from one season to the next, you have to commend the job that Ryan Poles has done. And I'm saying this now because, right, when the season gets going, when the season starts to get underway, and if players underperform, different things like that, if the coaching staff isn't very good, whatever it may be, right, we've seen seasons go sour based on where the coaching staff and stuff like that has happened. But if that does happen, I want it to be known right now that I'm giving Ryan Poles all his credit because, I mean, I just read y'all that list. I don't want none of them back. Maybe Travis. Travis is the only one that I was like, he should be on this team right now. But outside of Travis, and listen, I'm not that upset that they cut Travis because what do I always say? I had 36 inches of bare head over there built off of defense and linebackers. I can find another defensive lineman. I can find another. We literally came into this season and said, hey, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but we don't have a defense. We got a bunch of DBs and no pressure. We came out of that with DeMarcus Walker, Yannick Ngakoue. So
now we got pressure.
We'll see. We hope.
I think we will.
I think we do, right? Like, listen, I think we do, but I can sit there and look at what they did last season and say they created pressure last year. I would assume they're going to do it this year.
I just appreciate the fact that, you know, I'm going to say something. This is going to be, I guess this is a hot take. Good Lord. Shout out to George McCaskey. It takes real balls to understand that you've been doing something wrong for a long time and course correct.
For your whole life.
You know, so if you're at the point where you're like, hey, this isn't sustainable. We have to make some moves. He did that. Yeah. Right. And he's empowered Ryan Poles. He's empowered. God, who was our VP of black dude? Why is his name? I keep wanting to say Ted Phillips, but it's not Ted Phillips.
Oh, Kevin Warren.
Kevin Warren. There you go. Like shout out to him for actually being there in deciding that, hey, listen, this hasn't gone well. I can't do it myself, or my way doesn't work, or the Hallis way. We have to step into the 20th century and doing that. And not only did he do it from how the team is ran, he's even positioning the entire organization in the spot where they own their land and can build a state-of-the-art facility for their players and their fans. Shout out to him for doing that. Like, it takes real guts to make that drastic of a move, despite the fact that half the city is like, don't do it. No, we got to go. And I like moves like that. It took him a little bit too long, but I can't fault him. I never judge a man by what he finally gets it right.
We got to understand this. George took over as the owner, I want to say in 13. I think George took over as the owner, right? Because they transferred it throughout the family. I don't know if I had that exactly right. It might have been a little bit longer than that. But George ain't been at this forever.
So George hasn't been at the Hamptons. So that's the part that I'm not too well versed in. And I'll be honest with you in the chat. I don't know where I knew the family owned it, but who had ultimate control at what point? I'm still a little hazy on that one. So who had what when?
So basically, this has gone through the entire family. It was more so being the McCaskies kind of just got to enjoy the benefits of things because the Hallises were all still alive. But in, I want to say the early 2000s or maybe even the 90s, the last Hallis died off. He had a heart attack. So then it transferred to the McCaskies. And they basically have had different people. You said what?
He became chairman 2011.
2011, right. So I was close. 2011.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been there that long. His brother was in charge before that, which, right, his brother was in charge for the year we go to the Super Bowl. His brother was in charge for the year that, we basically fell off the face of the earth. And his mama got mad and said, nah, it's your brother's turn to try. This is the first time that we've gone outside the family, though. Everything else has been inside the family. It's always been, okay, it's me and then whoever my GM is, Jerry Angelo, Ted Phillips, or Jerry Angelo, like however you want to break Ryan Pace, right? It's always just been that setup. This is the first time in history, I want to say, that the GM and president of the Bears has nothing to do with the family. Like completely different organization. It wasn't self-promoted. It wasn't, right? So this is a serious thing that George is doing here. And it took him 10 years to figure it out.
Again, I don't judge a man enough when he finally gets it right. I have a think about it. He finally got it right, sure. But I'm pretty sure they have a rhyme and reason as to why they kept it the way they were. And we did see some success. We were never, the Bears, we've had our ups and downs, but let's be real. We were never the true worst team in the league.
We've had that.
Maybe there was always at least one team worse.
We've had that. No, when we had Mel Tucker and Mitch was a rookie, and we had that long neck giraffe that was at quarterback, and John Fox and here go. No, it was worst team in the league. No, we was there.
We were the worst team in the league.
I don't know if we were worst by record, but
that's what I'm saying. By record, we were never like the complete worst team in the league.
I think
it was like 3 seasons last year by record. In the last 20 that maybe we were, but you pair that with a Super Bowl appearance, some playoff run, stuff like that. Like we've been
pop-up
18
years. We have
like we've been of note. Like right, some teams can't even say they've made a Super Bowl in the entire history of their organization. So like we've been of note, and I can see why they ran it. But I say all that to say like we are in a new era of football. Period. So, and just think, in 1 year, Post does this, but in the same time, we have changed everything, and in 2 years, we're going to be an entirely, well, hopefully, we know that they're going to get out of Soldier Field, but we don't know exactly where yet. That's a weird situation.
I don't know what's going on with that. Kevin Warren said, yeah, but even that, right? Even that situation is different. We were here before, and then they landed a spaceship on top of the columns. That's basically all they did. They were like, let's take out 10,000 seats and put a spaceship in there. Soldier Field, it's new.
I'm going to be honest with you. I remember old Soldier Field as a kid. And I also remember the pictures of it.
It was falling apart.
That was a horrible stadium.
It was falling apart. It was old. But then they were like, okay, what's the way for us to move towards the future? Let's not put a dome over anything. Let's just take out 10,000 seats and land a spaceship in it. They didn't make it better. Different don't mean better.
They let the people from the X-Files design it. I mean,
it was awful, right? But even now, right, like how Kevin Warren is in year 2 of this new regime and year 1 for Kevin Warren, and realistically, we ain't even hit year 1. You're in a situation now where you're talking about this organization looking at a city in Illinois and going, you're not going to bully us. We the Chicago Bears. Who are you talking to? We're a multi-billion-dollar organization. Like, the Bears have never operated like this. And this is why I say, right, like when you see them doing things differently, when you see how they're how they're positioning themselves, even going into next season, right? Me and you both talked about the Bears are still positioning themselves well to go into next year, where if things don't work out with Justin, we got an option. If they do work out with Justin, we got a better option, right? Like seeing that at every level of this team is so foreign to most fans. And that's why, right, like, I think that this season is pivotal. That's why I wanted to come in here and talk about the changes from 1 year to the next. That's why even the Nick Bosa money, because the NFL is a weird league. Legitimately, the Panthers could be the worst team in the NFL this season. The Chicago Bears could go on a run. If the Bears start off 3-0, and I'm not saying that they will, I still have us losing to the champions. Like I would love to go 3-0, but I still got us losing to the champions. But if the Bears start off 3-0, we'll find a way to win 6 more games. I fully believe that all of a sudden it's just like
we go 3-0 and we haven't played. We only played one divisional rival. Yeah, I think we have a great chance.
You play one divisional rival, right? And you beat that rival. Now, this is not my prediction on what's going to happen, but I do see like the NFL is such a weird league where there's an opportunity of, man, they just had they had a great start. And guess what? It sparked everything. When we went to the Super Bowl, that's all it was. We got off to a great start. Rex Grossman got off to the hottest start you could possibly get off to that season. And then he started sucking.
But the momentum was already up. So it was like,
it was already there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not to say that the beginning of the season is going to be what happens at the end, or that it's going to be what the future of this franchise is. But I do think that getting off to those starts and having these situations now where, right, Brian Burns might not play. If the Bears go 3-0, they end up winning 9 games, make a playoff run, whatever that is, and we get the first pick in the draft. You're positioning yourself to be in the right situation. I think that that's the one thing that I have to give Ryan Poles credit on to start the season. That's the one thing that I have to give Kevin Warren credit on with how he's come into this franchise is I haven't seen – I can criticize moves that you've made, certain ones really. Ryan Poles hasn't had too many of them. Like, I hate them. But I can't criticize the logic behind them. When I can't criticize your logic, I don't like, even with AK, right? Like, I don't like the moves that I don't think we made flashy moves this offseason for the Bulls. I understand why he made the move. We needed a point guard that could shoot threes, and we needed a defender. Got both.
I don't know. Christian Wood going to the Lakers for like chump change is taking me off. But anyway.
I mean, yeah, but
hey.
Christian Wood is one of those players where it's like, sure, or no, all right. Like,
18,
like I don't care one way or the other.
18 and 8 with nearly 37%, 39% from three.
Here's the thing, though. I would have loved it from the 3-point aspect, but that fits better with LeBron than what we have here right now. Because LeBron needs people to shoot threes with him.
No, I don't. What didn't we do? We didn't shoot threes well.
Yeah, we got a point guard that shoots 40% from 3 now.
Yeah, we got a point guard by name who no one really knew.
We all knew Javon Carter. I don't think nobody knew Javon Carter. He won a ring. Like he was on the team that won a ring.
Yeah, he was the backup though.
Yeah, I mean he was the backup. Guess what?
The backup to the best point guard.
Anyway,
we're getting off the topic right.
My point is right, like that. I can see why they made the moves they made. I can't criticize you on why you made the moves you made. I can't do that with the Bears.
It's too young.
I like all the moves. I like we got Giannis. They just paid or Brian Burns. We talking about Brian Burns, right? Brian Burns, how old did I say he was? 25. Brian Burns is gonna probably end up being a guy that gets.
Oh, he's gonna crack 100 mil.
He's probably gonna get 110 mil, 120 mil, right? Or he's probably gonna get 160 mil with 110 mil guaranteed, something like that. Somewhere in that range. We got Yannick Ngakoue for 10. They got a 2-sack difference. Now, Brian Burns does more as far as the run game, better in the run game, different things like that. But as far as sacking the quarterback, it's a 2-sack difference. I think Yannick had 10.5 sacks last year. We got him for 10 million. 1 year. Guess what? I don't like him. He gone next year. If I do like him, maybe we keep him around. But you're in a position where even all the contracts we signed this offseason, still in a position to go,
sign another player.
That didn't really work. I didn't like how that looked. I didn't like how that looked. Let's get rid of that. Let's replace that with this.
By the way, I love Rob. Thank you so much, Rob, for being late to the party. We talked about that about the first 10, 15 minutes. Rob coming in trying to throw shots out here. I guess I'm not shocked that you missed the first half of it. So you got.
No, I'm not surprised that you guys are. No, it's called a show, Rob. You see, you start off with a certain topic, and by the end of the show, you're talking about different things. That's a conversation, Rob. I'm gonna have to get back to frying y'all, bro. Apparently, I didn't got too nice up in this month. Must be talking reckless in the comments. If reckless,
you be getting baked in that Chicago ESPN thing, dog.
I done got a little bit too nice out here, bro. Like I still would bake you. You know what I mean? Like, Rob, get out your mama basement and stop letting your sister be out there on 79th. All right, let's get back to the show. Jesus
but I will say this again, a little young for me to sit there and say I like all these moves. Some of these things are playing the long game. I got to see how they work out. But I also have to separate things that I equate to Pose and Warren from pace and from pace, basically, because I associate a lot of Justin's development with Pose when realistically he's not even his pick. But how he develops him, honestly, I feel like the coach you put in place, the staff that you put around these players, how they develop, because I feel like we all are of agreement that we have talent on this team. Now, how disciplined that talent is, how they execute, how you've worked through, just like they were talking about changing Justin's mechanics. Did that really work? I saw some film like that. It was like, looked the same a little bit, but a little young for me to make that statement too. I can't wait for this first game so we can finally get some real film on it. It's a little young, but it's like, hey, now, but those are the things we grade you on. Like, who did you put in place?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Game 1 of this season will skew how I view this coaching staff heavily. Because you made decisions in training camp, you made decisions in preseason, you made decisions in the joint practices and different things like that. That in my mind, right, unless you come out and you dominate, didn't have you the best prepared for this Packer game.
Talk to him.
Now, I'm fine with you. Listen. I'm always going to be the dude to say, guess what? If he made the right decision, it'll show. If you right, you right. Right? I bet. Listen, Nate Davis didn't practice at all. If he come out and craps an all-pro performance, you'll never hear me talk about practice again. We talking about practice? Talking about practice? Like, listen, I would never have talked about practice with Allen Iverson.
No.
What you want him to do? Go out there and drop 25?